Hello everyone, my name is Swarnali Kalita. I will be teaching a poem today that is prescribed for the third semester students from the paper American Literature. So before we go to the poem, let us know about what is American literature. American literature is literature written or produced in the English language in the United States. It came of age in the period between 1870 and 1920. During these years, American writing distinguished itself stylistically and thematically from the European tradition to which it had been dismissively compared for more than a century. It mainly focuses on politics, economics, and social status. The themes of American literature mainly includes individualism, freedom, nationalism, independence, and slavery. Now coming to the difference between American literature and British literature. So we generally tend to read about British literature, therefore, since British literature made its appearance in the early ages, American literature is seen as a new concept. Therefore, it is important for us to know the differences between American as well as British literature. So British literature, also known as English literature, refers to the collection of literary works written in Great Britain and its colonies from the 7th century to the present, whereas American literature refers to the literary works written and published in America. It has its origins in the 17th century. Hence, English literature is considered to be older than American literature. Coming to the next difference, English literature is written in British English, whereas American literature is written in American English. The third difference is that English literature mainly reflects English culture and practices, while American literature reflects American culture and practices. The last difference is English literature is known for its intelligence and the portrayal of the subject and characterization, while American literature is often referred to as being much more realistic in portraying its characters. Now coming to the poet Langston Hughes. The full name of Langston Hughes is James Mercer Langston Hughes, and he was born in February 1, 1902 in Joplin, Missouri. He is particularly known for his insightful portrayal of black life in America from the 20s through the 60s. He wrote novels, short stories, plays, and poetry, and is also known for his engagement with the world of jazz and the influence it had on its writings. His life and work were enormously important in shaping the artistic contributions of the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s. Harlem Renaissance was a development of the Harlem neighborhood that was focusing on the blacks of the America. It was in Lincoln that Hughes began writing poetry. Langston Hughes' first book of poetry was The Very Blues, which was published by Alfred A. Knopf in the year 1926. Langston Hughes died of complication from prostate cancer on May 22, 1967 in New York City. Now coming to the poem. Before we go to the detailed explanation of the poem, let us have a brief overview of the poem. The poem was first published in the year 1926 in his first collection of poetry, that is, The Very Blues. It was during the height of the Harlem Renaissance. The poem is also known as I Too Sing America, and when it appeared in The Very Blues, it was titled as The Epilogue. It portrays American racism as portrayed by a black man, because Langston Hughes, the poet himself, was Afro-American. Thus, he used to portray the black life of America through his poetry. It encapsulates the history of oppression of black people, that is the Afro-Americans, by the whites, that is the African citizens. It is written in free verse, that means this poem does not have any rhyme scheme or does not follow any meter, and it features short lines and simple language. The poem contains only 5 stanzas, 2 of which are only 1 line long. Here, the poet makes use of several literary devices, 3 of which are alliteration, allusion, and enjambment. The themes in the poem include hope, strength, unity, and racism. Now coming to the poem starts by the poet saying that I too sing America. Through this line, he wants to portray that he too is an American. He too is a part of America. I am the darker brother. That means he is considering America to be a family and he is considering himself to be the darker member of the family. Therefore, he is calling himself as the darker brother. Next, he says, they sent me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But I laugh and eat well and grow strong. So he says that they in the sense that the American citizens, what they do, whenever any company comes, it means any guest from the other countries come, the whites always restrict the blacks to be a part of such meetings. Therefore, he is saying that even though that happens with him, he laughs and eats well and grows strong. That means he ignores this discrimination faced by the blacks. He says, tomorrow I will be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare to see me eat in the kitchen. This line shows hope that the poet has in his mind. He says that tomorrow again when the company will come, he will be able to be a part of the whites. He will also sit along with the whites and will not be able to go to the kitchen. That means the whites will no longer dare to send him to the kitchen or put him back. He will also be a part of the entire meeting. Then he says that, besides, they will see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. Then he says that they will be ashamed by looking at how beautiful he is, in the sense that the whites will one day realize that how beautiful the blacks are and will be ashamed. And then towards the end, in the last line, he says that I too am America. Again, he focuses on the fact that he too is in America despite of being a black. So to conclude the poem, we'll have to say that the poem I Too is a cry of protest against American racism. That means how the blacks were being discriminated by the whites is being portrayed through the poem. It is trying to make the point that all people, no matter the color of their skin, should be treated equally. Hughes has tried to make his work relatable to the reader, and this piece brings a lot of comfort to those who feel marginalized. That was all. Thank you.